Oh, welcome back. Oh man, okay. So last episode we covered cooking, our habits or likes, dislike type things. So if you haven't checked that episode out, go check it out. It's an interesting one. Needless to say, the least, and tons of rabbit holes. It looks like Bugs Bunny has been there. It's tons of fucking rabbit holes. Elmer Fudd's not doing the rabbit season very well. Anyways, since then, Raga, what have you been up to since the last episode? Other than turning a year older.
Last episode, yeah, turned a year older. Enjoying that a little bit, or not a
Now
whole
he's
lot.
old as fuck,
My,
not just
no,
old.
my body's trying to, my age is trying to catch up with my body because it's way older. So I don't know. It's bad back, bad knees, bad joints, bad everything.
Bad
So
hit,
yeah,
bad money, bad life advice.
it's
From the
it is
army,
what
that's
it
what
is,
you get.
but it's all been going good, I guess. I don't know. Like shit.
I guess.
Life life sucks sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. This is true facts.
Yes.
It's 100% true. Yeah.
But no, I played a little bit. I haven't streamed yet, so I'm waiting to start that again. I did get a new game,
What
Little
game?
Nightmares 2.
Huh? Oh,
I started that and I played that for 2 to 3 hours, and then I downloaded it and then realized it was 2 a.m. Yeah,
but you
it's
didn't
enjoy. I
stream
didn't play
it?
the first one, so I played it and yeah, I lost myself in it. It's fun. I enjoy it.
That
Definitely has
is
a
a
creepy aspect to it.
that is a game I've been wanting to check out. I think it's on Game Pass. Or it's coming to Game Pass, one of those two. I forget which.
It was free with PlayStation Plus Premium or whatever I have as well. So, or no, I
Oh
paid for
no.
it. I think it was $25. I think I paid like $25 for it, and it was not bad. I will continue to play it. I can get lost in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the games I've looked at and thought, oh, I really want to get it, but I'm trying not to buy a bunch of games. It's my goal. It's not to buy a bunch of games. But
I'm just trying to find something I'm enjoying, and I do enjoy that one.
that's 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 the key thing though, is like right now I'm so burnt out on just video games in general, where the only game I've been playing other than like Destiny 2 to keep up with the storyline every Tuesday, where I hop on for maybe an hour or two, then I beat that segment of the story and move on. I've only been playing Pokemon Violet, Scarlet, the red one, and I beat that the other day. I was like, oh man, I'm done. Great. What else to play? And then saw Nintendo. Thought cool, amazing thing, and at least in my opinion, that Nintendo's gonna do is Super Mario Kart 8 will now have even more characters brought to it, and they brought out 2 map packs already, um, and they're gonna have a bunch more characters drop in as well. Where like you'll have Squirtle from Pokemon, of course. You'll have Kirby. You'll have um, what's the is his name Bow Wow? The
Bowser?
chain? No, the chain dog from Super Mario, the big black dog. It's not Bow Wow. No, it can't be Bow Wow. That sounds too stupid.
The chain dog from
He's a black ball. He goes, "Arr, arr, arr," and he tries to get
oh,
you,
the
so
black
he's
ball.
chained
I
up.
got you. Okay,
Yeah,
I was thinking of a dog. I'm like, there's no black dog in Mario. The black ball makes sense. Yeah, the chain and ball. I didn't know he
I
had a
forget
name.
his name. Chain Chomp. There we go. They all have names. They all have names.
Oh, and
So,
I had no idea he had a name. Of
Bow Wow's a
course, you knew
rapper,
that.
but but anyways, but they're gonna introduce. Somebody said up to 50 new drivable characters, and basically think Super Smash Brother character list now Super Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's what I was
Which,
gonna say. So it's Smash Bros on wheels.
yeah, I was like, oh, that would be so cool, because the one big like negative thing everybody says every time a new Mario Kart comes out is it's the same 16 plus characters, include your
Mhm.
meads, and that's it. the list has not changed too much.
No, that's
Is there?
true.
It'll be very interesting. Um, and my because the map packs did come out, and there's a new one come out this year. I'm trying to get my wife back into it. Of course, she's back into it, and we played. I think we played on Wednesday last week, and she got pissed off because she's not winning anymore. And I will give it to her. That fucking woman used to destroy me on fucking Mario Kart. She would have gold peach with a very specific bike tire and parachute thing, and she could whip my ass every fucking map. And there'd be a few of them where like I would win, I'd get ecstatic, but she would beat me up so bad to the point like trash talking started, and it was just so bad. And then finally we started playing again. We're playing these brand new maps, and I saw something on TikTok or Instagram or somewhere that said you really should play as like a heavier character like Bowser or Donkey Kong and use this bike build. And I've just been whooping her ass left and right with it. And she's so fucking pissed off about it. And she's a petty loser too, where she'll blame everything but her just sucking at the game now. And it's not my fault. It's the map. It's not my fault. You cheated. You're cheating somehow. I was like, I'm not cheating. I saw a fucking build on social media. I want to try it out. And come to find out, this build works on anybody. It's not a heavy player thing, and she's just not good anymore. And that led to after 2 or 3 hours of playing Mario Kart to her going, I don't want to fucking play this anymore. It's like, oh, come on, just one more, and of course I went and just went. Fuck. So she won.
Mm.
Not all of them.
Yeah,
The
that
four
if you let her
maps.
win.
That's fine. He doesn't listen.
I can't do that shit.
She,
I'm not gonna let you win.
She tried. She's like, you let me win, didn't you? I was like, why would I let you win? What do I benefit from this? It's where I play with you again. What do I really benefit? Other than being screamed at because I'm cheating.
You're not beating me. Don't hit me anymore. Stop.
So yeah. But I was pretty excited about that. I mean, I like Nintendo. You don't. But I was pretty
I don't mind it.
excited.
I just haven't. There's a very limited amount of games that I will play on Nintendo. Mario Kart is one. So there's not a whole lot that I'll play
There's not
that
a whole
are
lot.
enjoyable.
But that's the thing, it's like, there's not a whole lot out there because, yes, the demographics set for Nintendo games are primarily children, ages 5 to 13. They're the young children demographics. And then you have Xbox and PlayStation. That's the demographic is technically 18 and older. So 18 to 35, I think, is their demographics, to be specific. So Nintendo, however, has this long history because I did this, but they have a long history of like their people are loyal. So people who played Nintendo back in the 80s are still playing Nintendo to this day. So the demographic is actually a lot older than these pre-teens, basically. And it doesn't really fit in when they're releasing things like Animal Crossing. But then after 6 months, they stop all support, or 8 months, whatever it was, they stop all support to Animal Crossing. So they come out with, they allow Stardew Valley to come out on Nintendo Switch. Again, a few months later, cut all support. So if you want it, it has to come from the creators themselves. But other than big name titles like Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, those games, there's only been one Smash Brothers release. There's only been one Mario Kart release. Grand Mario Kart is now like, here's DLCs. About fucking time. It's only been out since the dawn of the Switch. And then the Super Mario games are so-so. Odyssey was okay. It was a gimmick grab of you throw the hat and it becomes Super Mario, or it becomes like Super Mario. It was a gimmick grab and it worked. The Rabbids series is hilarious, but you have to like the Rabbids franchise. If you don't, then you're like, this game's stupid. It makes no sense. Why are these little bunny things? But there's not a lot out there, and unless you play Fortnite, which again, why would you play Fortnite on Switch when you could just go play on a console that's graphically and technically speaking heads over heels better speed,
Mhm.
performance, and everything. And I get people like, well, Switch is for kids. Hey, your kid doesn't need to be on Fortnite. It may be E for everyone, but there's some petty ass parents out there who get pissed off very quick that you're trash talking my son. Your son just called me a fucking cunt. I have the right to call him a twat waffle from fucking hell. Fuck off, Karen.
No, I think we talked about too with the Game Award episode that we did about a lot of the different things that Switch has and what Switch doesn't have, and
Yep.
your episode of your tangent with the kid from hell.
There's so many of them.
But I think with the new year and everything coming out too, there's a lot of not just games, but there's some movies coming out, some shows coming out. Because The Last of Us is starting next week and a half, 12 days, 15th of.
I don't know if I'll watch that.
I will, just to see. I like the game. I like the people that they have playing the characters.
I didn't like the game.
So I enjoyed the game. The game was fun. I'm not saying it was the best game ever made, but the storyline flowed okay.
But that's where my issue lies with the storyline. It's just not like, yeah, if I'm going to play a story-based game, I want the story to be believable, contingent, or whatever, consistent. There we go. Like, and I just saw a lot of flaws in the story, and I saw a lot of issues with the story. That's like, this all could have been solved really quick. This all was a quick fix. Blah blah blah. It's kind of like my issues with certain movie franchises, where it's like you could have literally fixed and prevented all this with one thing, and done. Granted, Last of Us is like 3 or 4 things, but it still could have been prevented. And I didn't like the premise of it. I was just like, you know what? I will play this game. I'm gonna fucking hate it. And then when Last of Us 2 came out, I went, no, I won't buy it. My OCD kicked in. I had the first one. Yes. Oh,
I haven't played the second one, but with the first one, there was a lot of action in it. There were cutscenes, but the action was there a lot more than the cutscenes.
Yeah.
The way the game was, playing the game was fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how it is starting off, because it does have a slight Walking Dead vibe to it, but I don't know if it's going to. Walking Dead was great when it started. The more it went on, I mean, I got bored after season 2, I think, of Walking Dead.
Season 1 was enough. They didn't need anything after that. Season 2 closed a couple things up, but no.
Yeah, I couldn't continue on with any more Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's another one. I was like, not believable. Like it doesn't have to be like, I'm not saying movies and video games have to be believable. I'm just saying we're using these mediums to escape reality. And I would like if it's somewhat believable. Like, you're not gonna sit in a fucking bank for 10 days.
There's not many. Oh yeah, there are many, but a lot of the HBO series that are made are very well done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of some that aren't, but I know you take Sopranos was great.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one that pops in my head. I know there's other ones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
But here's the
until they started writing on their own.
Yep.
Yeah.
They started deviating from or they couldn't deviate from the books. The books were not caught up. So they had to be like, what would happen?
But I mean, with this is that there's already it's already written for them. They just have to, make it into a reality, live action style movie.
So is The Witcher. Look how that turned out.
I haven't watched The Witcher. I know Cavill's gone, but I don't know anything else. 3. After season 3 is?
Yeah, so he's already done season 3. So the thing with like The Witcher is a executive producer, I think, left at the end of season 1 because of the writers and the directors. They wanted to deviate from the books and the game. So they didn't want to be true to the franchise. And if you know anything about the franchise owner or the writer of The Witcher, is he was very meticulous and almost fucking anal beyond belief with the video game. That he was like, nope, you have to change this. This isn't correct. This is not how Geralt worded this. This is not how Cersei would like. He was so fucking picky about it to the point where the game developers couldn't do shit without his 100% approval. And then the TV series doesn't seem to be that way. And season two, you can already tell they started deviating pretty heavily away from the stories from the books slash game, because the game and books are very, very much almost identical. There's a few things they have to change, of course. And season two, you start seeing a drastic change. And then Henry Cavill's been very vocal about it. He's like, look, I like being Geralt because we're being so true to the story. I want to stay true to the story. I want to stay true. And season three is supposed to be such a drastic change again that they're deviating even further away. And there's been calls for the owner of Witcher to basically say, hey, you're done. But I don't think he's involved in it in any way. I think Netflix circumvented him somehow.
And I know Cavill's got another project that he's pretty much dived into head first. That's exactly what it is. That's right. Yeah. So with him committed to that 100% now, because he's done with Superman, only thing he has possibly coming up would be Captain Britain in Marvel, and I don't think that's anytime soon. Or anything else he has going, but
is he slated for Captain Britain, or
that's that's the rumor that I've read is that he's going to play Captain Britain.
I've heard knows? Doctor Doom. I've heard Britain. I've heard I've heard Gambit, which was like, maybe, God, no. But I still want. I don't know why, but I still want Channing Tatum to do Gambit because he can do the.
He would fit.
He can do the Cajun accent very well. Granted, the original Gambit from Wolverine was decent. It wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing, but it was a.
That's because he was a no-name, low-key actor, which is what they need.
That's what you need. Stop bringing these fucking A-list celebrities. Look, like
Ben Affleck doesn't need to be Batman.
No. I'm just saying, I love The Rock. I think he's a great actor. However, I just found this out because of this whole DC issue with Henry. He has it written in all his contracts that he is not allowed to lose a fight. He is contractually unable to lose a fight. Like, you know how fucking stupid that is, and how pompous and arrogant you are to be like, oh, you can't lose a fight. That's why Jason Statham didn't want to work with him in Fast and Furious. That's why Vin Diesel didn't work with him in Fast and Furious, because he can't lose a fight. He's contractually obligated where he will not lose a fight. So he'll either beat the ever-loving shit out of someone, or he'll be best buddies. And you can even see this. You can even see this with the Disney movie Moana, where he plays Maui. Is he ends up becoming best friends with Moana and giving their heart to Tafiti. Like, this is stupid. And
yeah, and that's where his past.
You can't play fucking superhero movies and be like, I'm gonna play Black Adam. By the way, arch nemesis, Superman, who's the strongest being alive, but he can't beat me.
Yeah.
Like, get fucked. Not the franchise for you. Go do Jumanji.
Yeah, if you know his past with his dad, with Rocky Johnson, that was a huge thing too. He's very egotistical and everything as well. So
the whole whole Samoan dynasty within WWE is that way. The only one that was really Rikishi. You could see it play out very well, where he wasn't ever really pushed to the top dog. He was always a mid-tier at best. But
yeah, I mean when you're dancing and everything like that, and he was very gimmicky.
Yeah,
and he fell into the gimmicks very hard. That's what he did.
He didn't want to be like the Mabayas or Rockies or Anoya. He just wanted to be Rikishi. He wanted to be himself. He wanted to do something different. Did it hurt him? Yeah. However, I will say Rikishi's probably one of the most memorable characters within wrestling, but which we'll talk in a whole different episode. with Clint, but we'll make Clint suffer through that shit. But it, and there's a lot of speculation like that's why Henry Cavill left DC, or that's why Henry Cavill left The Witchers, so where he can pursue DC, and DC cut him. It's like, no, Henry's very vocal of I left Witcher because they're not staying true to the material or to the lore, and that was the only reason why I signed on for it. And I wanted to do Superman, but then James Gunn and Peter was like, we're just gonna scrap everybody and we're starting over. Which I think the only person that hasn't been scrapped is Jason Momoa for Aquaman.
There's supposedly another Aquaman coming out in 24.
But he's
now,
not
if
it.
there's
He's,
more, well, I don't know.
No, I firmly think he's not it because Jason Momoa teased on a late night show that he's been working with James Gunn for a possible different character inside DC altogether.
Oh yeah,
and he hinted very strongly at Loba, I think it was. So everyone's like, yeah, Lobo, and everybody's like, hold on, he's gonna go bad.
Mm-hmm. He's a Deadpool. He's a DC Deadpool.
I was like, he's not. It's like explaining this to my child. No, he's not good, but he's not bad either. He's kind of that.
He's an anti-hero.
Which anti means opposite or not. Sorry.
But he's still hero. There's still a hero in it. But yeah, it's and
he's a merc. He's a merc. That's what they want. Fucking merc.
Yeah. If he wants to be, if DC wants to do anything, they have to do that. They have to move forward with that and ride the coattails of Momoa until they can get something stable and successful, because he is the only successful one that they've had as the pussy Aquaman. When your stupidest and weakest superhero is your most successful,
but
there's a problem.
He's your most successful hero, but then again, you have your anti-hero, Peacemaker, which was John Cena, brought in by James Gunn for the Suicide Squad, and now Peacemaker is fucking amazing. And yes. I mean, they could ride the coattails between those two, and there's already beef quotations, so many jokes between Peacemaker and Aquaman. So if I was James Gunn, that would be the direction I would go. Is these are going to be my two of my main pillars. And just whoever Jason Momoa plays, cool. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be fucking Aquaman. Scrap Aquaman and do something completely different. Get away from Aquaman. He should not be your star hero. You need to revamp and either make your star hero Batman, or you need to make it Superman. And if you're not,
I don't think it needs to be either one of those.
For the franchise he's building, he needs to have at least one of them. So where the continuity is solid, because those are two main pillars inside DC that almost everybody interacts with at some point or another. So to say they're not going to be a main pillar, they don't have to be like the main go-to, but kind of like Iron Man. He was never supposed to be the main guy.
No, it just took off that way. I think the way that Gunn does stuff, I mean, there's been 4 or 5 different Batmans, 2 or 3 different Supermans. They've been overdone like Spider-Man has. If he wanted to run with Teen Titans that way, that would be his best way. I think to do it is to shelf Batman, Superman, Justice League, all that, run with Teen Titans in some manner. You can even, if you wanted to, do the episode style they had, a little darker style, and do that. But you do not need to do Batman, Superman right now, because yes, those are your money grabs, but you need to establish yourself in another way to be successful and not have to, essentially ride the coattails, like we said before, of Batman or Superman.
I mean, I can completely get behind that, especially if because they could have there still be a quote Batman or Superman without introducing a true Batman or Superman, and just build up basically that multi-year or multi-movie anticipation, kind of like Avengers, and just build up to it, and then be like, oh, we've heard about Batman, or we heard about the Dark Knight or the Kryptonian baby, whatever, and just like be like, oh, they're hinting at these, and they don't ever specifically say or show it. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
But
until
Teen
they figure out
Titan,
who the hell to play them.
Teen Titans would be an amazing one because I mean that's a great sub franchise.
You could have your individual movies off that too. I mean,
Yeah,
if they want to do a Teen Titans and then just spin off from that, or take each individual one like they did with Marvel, and then bring in Avengers movies. That they need to have something. But I think starting off with Lobo is a good way for them to start because Momoa is successful in his acting career. He will bring plenty of money in what he does. He's not a
I mean,
bad actor.
you'll still have John Cena as Peacemaker too. So I mean, he's
Yeah,
not.
I'd say keep him as well. But I don't see anything about a season 2 for Peacemaker.
I thought they
I
were
haven't seen
already writing the
anything.
script. I thought they already had the
What they're
script.
going on what 2 years now since the end of the last episode
I don't remember.
because
Okay,
is
so
it
this
2 years?
says there is a Peacemaker season 2 definitely coming. Gunn has announced that there is a Peacemaker season 2. The bad news is as of end of November, it's still in script writing. So they're still writing the script out. I'm sure that's because since James Gunn and Peter kind of just like scrapped everybody, that they're going to rewrite and rework the script because they never showed Superman, they never showed Batman's face in the end of Peacemaker. You definitely saw Jason Momoa's face, and you unfortunately had to see Ezra Miller's face as Flash. Um, if he's not fucking canned after all the stupid shit he's pulled, like
Oh yeah,
that's already
they've already severed ties with him. I know that. Well, they did bring Cavill back at the end of Black Adam as well.
exactly.
So that was, I mean, a tease, but a cock tease of like, oh
Well,
nope, he's gone.
well, The Rock had everything to do with Henry Cavill coming back. That's because it was
Hmm.
all made before James Gunn and Peter. I honestly forget his last name all the fucking time. I want to say Dinklage, but that's not it. Peter.
The ding.
Dink. But the movie was already script recorded and released before James Gunn and him took over as
Oh,
co-CEO, which is why they were able to scrap everybody. But I mean, I I would like to see Henry Cavill come back, and that's just because he's such a huge nerd. Um,
he is.
but I don't know. I didn't know this because I don't pay much attention, but I found it interesting because if you've been reading like the headlines or the articles, and everything about Henry Cavill and The Rock, it's The Rock stole Henry Cavill's job, and The Rock stole Brandon Fraser. Like he's the reason why both of them are like kind of virtually outside of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And The Rock and Henry had the same uh, manager, which was The Rock's ex-wife, and Henry Cavill just fired her a couple weeks ago. And like when people are speculating and everything, like why would he do that? Well, if everything that is supposedly true about The
Yeah.
Rock and Henry, why would you not fire that manager and say fuck you? You possibly had something to do with the detrimental existence of my career, so you're fired.
Mhm.
Done. Bye. And then you have The Rock being in a lot of legal trouble because he's falsifying claims about how much Black Adam made, and now he's pissed off that everybody's coming after him.
Yeah. I think Cavill has kind of pigeonholed himself into a strictly superhero style video game genre.
But would you
Um,
would you say he's pigeonholed, or he did that deliberately because of how
it's,
how big of like because pigeonholed, like for me, I think like Alfonso Roberto from Fresh Prince, Carlton, where he got himself pigeonholed by accident just by simply playing the same role for what 10 plus seasons, and he was forever typecasted as Carlton. So he could never get an acting gig outside of it, and then finally he got his break with America's Funniest Home Videos, and now he's a host, but he doesn't
yeah.
act. Whereas like Henry Cavill is more of a he wants to do something he loves, he wants to be a part of something he enjoys. So if he enjoys the nerd culture, the nerd fandom, Why not stay within that existence versus going out and playing, like, I don't want to say Bond because that's kind of still in the dirt right now. Going out and playing
He
something
could
else that
he could be Bond. I wouldn't be against him playing James Bond, but I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't ever see. I think the way they're going now is I think it's going to be female based now for a
it is.
while.
That's because like
So
the 6 male actors they had set for James Bond have all said no because again I didn't know this. Uh, it all came with Idris Elba, who kind of revealed it that if he took James Bond, he would be stuck as and only as James Bond for the next like 6-7 movies, and he could not take any other roles. And he didn't want to be stuck as just one character. He wants to be able to do other films and do indie films and do all this other stuff. And if he took James Bond, he would be contractually stuck as only ever be able to play James Bond until his movie films are met.
yeah, the contract is very, very in depth and gets very crazy because they can take other roles, but they're not allowed to wear suits.
Mhm.
They're not allowed to wear any type. The way that they can wear a suit is it cannot be black because Pierce Brosnan got in trouble when he did Thomas Crown Affair.
Mhm.
He made that movie and he had a suit on, but he didn't have the bow tie. It was opened up,
Yep.
and it was I don't believe it was a black suit. If I remember correctly. I'm not sure, but there was something contractually he couldn't do it.
I believe it was a dark colored, but no, it wasn't black.
But yeah, the James Bond
dark
is
enough.
Yeah, you're stuck.
It's
You're
crazy.
stuck for I think is it 4 or 5 movies? 3 to 5 movies that they have to do.
Idris said on a talk show was 6. Like he kept saying, I would be stuck as James Bond for 6 to 7 movies.
Wow.
Which again could be minimum 6 years. That's if you push a movie out every year, but realistically 12 years because a new James Bond comes out almost every other year, if not every 3 years. So you'd be stuck as that role. And I know well, I can't think of his name. The current James Bond motherfucker. I have his face.
I can't think of his damn name either.
Daniel Craig. There we go.
Yeah, that's who it is.
I know, very similar situation with like Pierce Bronson, where he did not Glass Onion. That's the sequel to it. Knives Out. Something like that, was it? Knives?
With like Hemsworth and all them in it? He wasn't in that, was he? Pierce Brosnan?
Not Pierce Bronson, no. Daniel Craig was.
Oh, Daniel Craig.
But
okay, yeah.
He wore a suit. But it was very like a lot of the directors or writers, whatever, in the script he was supposed to wear a dark colored suit. But because Daniel Craig was playing it, if you look, he's wearing this like ugly green suit. And I think he's in Glass Onion 2. Or TOO, not TWO. The sequel to Knives Out. So, and he's still in the ugly suit there. So, the contract for James Bond is so ridiculous. And I get it. You want to protect your image. You want to protect all this. I get it. So, kind of tailor back to where we were. I think it's going to be all females. I agree with you. I think it's all going to be female cast because one, it's going to change it all up, whole new script, whole new direction, and I'm curious if they're going to keep the Bond girls or if they're going to make Bond guys.
Well, I mean, you never know anymore with how everything is.
Persons?
Yeah, it's just that type. But yeah, but looking at it, Brosnan did 7 movies. I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 3 or 4, but no, he did quite a few, and he also did GoldenEye Game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he had a very extensive run, and I didn't know that it was that long because I do remember going to the theater because I liked him. He's one of my favorite James Bond of all time. But
I think when you think of James Bond, or at least when I do, I think Pierce Bronson, like hands down, Yeah, it's probably GoldenEye's fault, but I think Pierce Bronson. I don't think anybody else. I don't think Daniel Craig. I think
Sean
Daniel.
Connery is the one that always comes to mind with mine.
I think Pierce Bronson, like every time, and it's not because like I'm a huge Pierce Bronson. I can't think of a fucking movie he's done recently, but
He
GoldenEye.
was in a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or I'm sorry, he was in Black Adam.
I knew you meant
Not
DC,
Marvel.
not Marvel.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably GoldenEye's because of the game because he's on the cover of GoldenEye. So,
Oh yeah.
but I don't. Do I like Sean Connery? Yes. I think he's the iconic, the classic James Bond. But when I think James Bond, as of right now, forever think Pierce
Mhm.
Bronson. Forever. I don't know why I don't think Sean Connery. Because when I think Sean Connery, I think of League of Extraordinary Men and The Rock. Not the person, the movie, The Rock. For anybody who's listening, the
Yeah,
movie.
and Connery did it from the '60s to the '80s. I mean, before that was Barry Nelson who did 54, but like it's Bob
Daniel
Simmons
Craig.
was another one that was great, but like it was there's only been eight Bonds.
Uh,
So
Daniel Craig has only done 5 movies though, as James Bond.
he's got I
Yes,
think he has
Casino
his last one
Royale.
is coming out. Oh no, they're supposed to hand it off in the last one, if I
Yeah,
remember
because there's
right.
Casino Royale, Quantum Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die. No Time to
Which I
Die
think
came out
he
in 2021.
which I
So
think
if
he
you,
handed it off in that last one.
like, I'm not a fan of Daniel Craig and James Bond, so I find this series right now it's very hard to watch.
Mhm.
But to kind of put in perspective, though, Casino Royale, his first movie he was in, 2006. His last movie he was in with James Bond was 2021. 15 fucking years to do 5 movies. So
Yeah.
whoever they get to replace James Bond, Daniel Craig, is going to be locked in. We'll say realistically, 5 year or a 5 movie deal. He or she's locked in for 15 years,
Roughly, yeah.
and you can't wear certain things. You can't behave a certain way. You can't talk a certain way. You can't go on social media. You can bet your sweet ass there's going to be a lot of social media restrictions as well. Just like if you're part of an MCU movie and you leak
Mhm.
anything, oh, you're in so much fucking trouble. And you can thank Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland for that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, looking at his IMDb, essentially what I'm looking at is all of his movies. He does have a pretty long list, an extensive list of movies from 2006, 2021, where he was playing James Bond. But yeah, Knives Out, King. He
Which,
was.
which if you haven't seen Knives Out, it's a fucking good movie.
I
It's
haven't
the
seen it, and I don't want to see the second one. They have a show coming out too.
So Knives Out is the first movie role that Chris Evans took after his MCU contract, and it's such a drastic different role for him. You haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, I want to tell you what happened, or at least tell you like how Chris Evans comes into it. But uh, Chris Evans' portrayal in Knives Out is so fucking great to the point you're just like, all right, he's not fucking Captain America anymore.
Yeah,
Good.
I need to watch it.
And then what's the other one he was in with Ryan Gosling in it on Netflix? That's also a good movie.
Ryan
God damn it.
Gosling. I haven't seen him.
Ah, damn it. I'm welcome to Google with two guys one gamepad.
We just sit here and look at the internet.
Pretty much.
So
The
I mean,
Gray Man.
with
The Gray Man. That
the
is
what?
the Gray Man.
Gray
That is a
Man?
fucking amazing movie. I love that.
Oh, it just came
Um,
out. Okay.
I mean, early last year, but okay. Great movie though. Um, right now, the running actor for um, James Bond though is set to be. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna butcher his name. Lucian Laviscount. Laviscount is
Oh, it's not a
supposedly
female?
set. No, it's a British actor. I'm butchering his name. I know I am. I feel bad because I don't like when people butcher my last name. I have an easy last. No, I don't. I don't. I have a hard last name.
Really, because here it says, according to reports, Aaron Taylor Johnson is the next James Bond.
This is from
Hmm.
MGM, who is the main people behind it. They're the front runner. So,
Oh, is it?
but again, there's no real say because they haven't solidified it.
No.
I think Aaron Taylor Johnson has already said no though.
Oh, really? I see. I don't know. I have no idea. I
Which
just looked it up.
that guy, by the way, for those of you who are like, man, that name sounds familiar, dude, that's fucking kick ass. He
Oh, that's who it is. Okay. I've no
so
idea.
one,
Oh, it is. Okay.
I watched that guy when he was so fucking skinny and kick ass to him
Mhm.
bulking up and playing a mercenary in some movie, I don't remember what, and now he was Quicksilver and got killed in the MCU. Like the dude has amazing acting ring. He's one of those actors now that I'm like, I'll watch any of his shit until I find something bad, and I'm just like, okay, maybe it's the director's fault. It's not his fault. Maybe it's the director's fault.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
But he's another one. Like, I can't wait for them to bring him back inside MCU or the DCU because he has a great range too.
I wasn't a fan of him as Quicksilver. I like the other Quicksilver, that the X-Men Quicksilver, a lot
Uh,
better.
uh, God damn it, I know his name too. Peterson. That's his name.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I'd be down for another Kick-Ass movie.
There we go.
I enjoyed those.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters. Okay.
I like him as Quicksilver too. I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson too. But the thing is, like, two totally different play styles, and like Aaron's character is very serious twin, whereas Evan Peters was a goofball and played more in line with like the comic book franchise that everyone knows. Whereas Wanda's twin brother, Aaron Quicksilver, that was more of the darker side of Quicksilver, if you know the comic books lineage, where
Yeah, but
Wanda
I mean,
and him end up doing it in the series.
yeah, that's yeah.
Incest.
But I mean, like, you take Flash. Flash is not the Flash is an asshole.
Yeah.
Like he's a prankster asshole in the
Yeah.
comic books, and he's never portrayed as that in the TV. I'll take it the TV show. He's never really been that style. Obviously, the dude that played in the movies, you rarely even saw anything about him. But the guy that plays Barry Allen in the Flash show, you never really see him as the prankster
Yeah.
dickhead that the Flash is portrayed in a lot of the comic books. And that's
Yeah.
if they would make him that way, it'd be a lot better. Because in Smallville, when they showed the Flash in that one, yes, it was Smallville TV show. He was a kid, but he was an asshole in it. He was a thief and an asshole and a prankster.
But like
and they stuck to it that way.
But that's the thing, it's like, again, that's the big issue with DC is they hop around so fucking much. But there needs to be some connection, some continuity between some of the comic book. Like, pick a fucking series and just say, this is the Flash we're going with. This is the Quicksilver we're going with. Wolverine, the Lobo, the Deadpool, whatever. Stick with that rather than doing like even MCU has with Evan Peters and Aaron Taylor Johnson. We have two totally different Quicksilvers from two totally different lineages or series with inside Marvel, and then you have DC, where you had Ezra Miller playing such a shitty fucking version of the Flash, which to this day I still can't see like what comic book he came from, like what series he came from. I've never read a comic book of the Flash that he was a timid
It
little
was a
boy.
shiny red rocket. That's all it was. and
Whereas,
it
like,
bothered me.
the
I don't
TV
like him as
show.
an actor. When
No
I
one
saw
does.
him in, as soon as I knew he was the Flash, all I could picture was him in. I think I've said it before too. In Trainwreck with
Oh, yeah.
Amy Schumer, that whole scene where he's like, "Slap me," the whole sex scene he tried to have in that one. That's all I was see him as. And I was like, I can't take you as Flash. I have a hard time. Like it's not happening. And I never liked him since then.
Just remember, John Cena was also in that movie.
John Cena was amazing in that movie. I mean, John Cena. I mean, you take the he's all tatted up in that movie, wasn't he?
I think he said
No,
it a
not that
little
one.
bit.
I was there's another movie where he's a drug dealer. It's
Oh, yeah.
the sisters or whatever. I can't remember this. Whatever it is, two sisters that have a house party, and he's a drug dealer in that movie. But John Cena is so off the cuff with a lot of his shit, like it works. And him saying as Peacemaker is, I'll gladly continue to watch Peacemaker if
I
they ever
mean,
can finish the script.
well, again, I think that has more to do, like we said, that has more to do with the fact that they are scrapping DCU, or sorry, the DCEU, because James Gunn has officially said, I will be taking over with Peter and redoing and rebuilding the DC universe. Not the entertainment universe, the DCU. So I think the branding alone tells us it's a whole new universe. So, which I know you said we don't need a Batman pillar. I'm gonna piss off a lot of people with this. Fuck you all. Twilight Boy did a good job as Batman playing dark and gritty. Robert Pattinson.
He already said it's not going to be him, though.
I know, but if
He
they're
said he's
going
not taking him.
if they're going to let a Batman exist, keep the darker, grittier, almost murderous Batman that we have so far, versus these other pussyfoots that just, I can't kill you. He doesn't
You
kill.
want more of the
Batman doesn't
more
kill.
of the Dark Knight style with it.
The true Dark Knight, not the
Yeah, the Dark Knight style, not
with
the Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Which I didn't mind him as Batman. I didn't mind it too much.
no, I'm just saying that if you're going to redo a series, redo a different fucking comic book series.
Oh, yeah.
Don't stick with just, here's this vigilante that's parents died at the theaters, and now he just beats people up. He doesn't ever kill, even though there is a series where he does kill somebody technically. He kills one person. Bring in somebody legit. Let him be dark and gritty. Let him, like, again, I think we've talked about this before. Gotham series. You've already done the TV show. You've laid down Bruce Wayne. You've laid down Batman. You've laid down. Oh shit! Just forgot the detective's name. Oh fuck. James Gordon. You've already done Selena with Catwoman. Like, you have all these characters, 5+ years in the making.
Mhm.
Let them grow up a little bit, and then say, by the way, here's Batman. And then bring all these characters from the TV series up. Penguin, the guy that played Penguin in Gotham, was a good Penguin. Like, you can do this. You have this all set.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
the kid that plays Bruce Wayne / Batman, could they have done a better cast? Yes, but he got better. He got better. Okay, just give him time.
There's some very good crossover that can happen between the shows to movies. The guy that plays plays the Flash on TV shows could be a great Flash in the movies. I think.
I think it's the only one.
The villains from Gotham, yes, let them grow up or whatever. And even now, I mean, with the Teen Titans, if they were to do that one, it would work.
I mean,
but I think
but the problem with the Teen Titans is the villains are already established. Because Robin takes over from, basically, not takes over, but steps down from Batman, starts his own little shtick. And he's like, look, we're going to go take on Batman's villains, and we're going to take on everybody else. So, if they do Teen Titans, which they need to do Teen Titans, like, why not?
The show that they have is
it's good.
Pretty damn good.
It's good. I like it. You have to get past the first season, but the first season's like...
The fact that Robin just sits there and says, fuck Batman, was great.
Well, yeah, everybody wanted that. Like, He's gonna be such a puss. Oh, all right.
But yeah,
But like, I again, they could use the villain setup from Gotham. They already have a Bruce Wayne, and they could just
yes.
create a build up, and that's what they need. I think James Gunn's going to get there. Is they need to build up to the Teen Titans of here's 4 independent movies or 5: Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire, Robin, Cyborg. 5. So here's 5 independent movies, and basically you would have to start off with Robin, or you would have to start with like a Batman movie. The problem, so where Robin has a reason to leave, or Robin basically at the end credit, kind of how like Nick Fury comes to Iron Man, you would have to have Robin approach somebody, be it Raven or Starfire or whatever, and be like, "Hey, I know who you are. I know what you are. I know about your powers," and then just kind of leave it at that, and then build on to the next movie, and then in credit scene again, Robin playing Nick Fury's side of the house from MCU is Robin's out recruiting Beast Boy, Cyborg, Starfire, Raven, whoever, and just bringing them in. But you would have to start off with a Batman to introduce Robin, and then Robin would basically be like, you know what? Fuck you, Batman. And then takes off on his own after collecting all the information.
Well, I think you already have a steady one with Peacemaker, and if they bring Lobo in, you can do it that way as well. They could tie in Robin from into Peacemaker somehow with shit that they have that way, or they could have start with Lobo, and then somehow the bounty hunter style that he is, he could come in and completely fucking wreck shop and somehow not kill Batman, but to the point to where it's a backstory, not behind the scenes type thing going on.
Yes.
Because he's another fourth wall character as well.
Yeah.
Within Lobo, I think with having him introduce some of the other Teen Titans and talking shit about Batman and Superman the entire time, and then ignoring Robin altogether.
Yeah.
And just like you're a kid type thing, leave me alone, do your own shit.
But then the real question is, do we want Robin to say Robin, or would you like Robin to become Red Hood or Nightwing or the Joker after being kidnapped and tortured by the Joker? Like, it's like there's so many paths you can do because there are so many different Robins. But who are you going to start off with? Are you going to start off with the one that gets kidnapped? Or sorry, you're going to start off with Nightwing, and then go to the one that gets kidnapped, and then goes to the one that gets Red Hood, and then just Robin. I forget all the names. But yeah.
I think when they try to look the actual names of Robin, good fucking luck, because I don't remember any of that. Because Lobo's is Lobo a time traveler? I can't remember if he is or not.
I haven't read it, Lobo.
I know he's a bounty hunter of some kind, but I can't remember if he's a time traveler like style or not. But I know those 3 different styles of Red Hood, Nightwing, and just a straight up Robin. I think if you just did the Robins to have the Teen Titans and then slowly introduce the other ones would probably be the better part of it, because Red Hood would have to be a dark movie. Nightwing, I don't think as dark, but Red Hood would have probably one of your darker movies. I think I see Red Hood as a darker, but Nightwing.
Red Hood is definitely like Red Hood would be R. Nightwing would be PG-13, pushing your R boundaries. Yeah. And then the Joker kidnapped Robin would have to be R as well, because like they get very like fucking dark and gritty, and they're all interconnected too. Like Nightwing knows about Red Hood, who knows about the kidnapped Robin. So I guess technically it'd start off with Red Hood and Nightwing or whatever. But they all know about each other. And they're all pretty dark. Except for the newest Robin, who is very much not ever going to be approached that way. But all the Robins, even Teen Titan, I think to properly do it, all would have to be PG-13 minimum.
Oh yeah, I don't think you go hard R for those. There'll be some that you Could, but I don't know if they will because there's so many. You'll lose some with going hard R on a lot
I
of
don't think
the
I don't
a
think
lot
you
of them.
would. I don't think you would because your average comic book reader or nerd or whatever is no longer a tween. We're adults who have followed this franchise since day one for some of us, and some of us, Series 7, but whatever. We've been following it for 30 plus years. I would say it's very safe to say that they could do a hard R movie with no issues and still have everybody come in. And let's be real, okay? Parents are still going to take their child to go see this movie because it's a comic book movie, and they're
I
not
mean,
going to
they
know jack
took their
shit
kids to
about it.
see fucking Deadpool, and they got all mad.
I didn't take mine to see Deadpool in theaters, okay? But they have seen Deadpool. Not recently because my daughter repeats everything. But
Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, I think they would definitely have to go they would
and they
have to
could.
a series would have to be hard R. Whether it's T Titans or just you couldn't do Justice League. If you did Justice League as like your bread and butter, it would have to be PG-13 because Batman does swear a little bit. Superman, Aquaman
Yeah,
swears a little bit.
your original Teen Titans um, audience. I mean, that's mid 2000s when the original Teen Titans came out.
It's like
So there obviously will
2004.
be, yeah, there should be they'll essentially be growing up at this point. But like, my kids watch Teen Titans, the goofy ass animated one, but
The shitty one.
the, I think it's funny as hell. But like
Shitty.
the original one that came out in mid 2000s, that audience would be obviously very grown up at that point, and I think a PG-13 would fit that one and trying to do it. But introducing it, I think you would have to spin off of either Lobo or Peacemaker because I do think Lobo has to lead the way for DC to do anything.
I, so I don't think they would. If you wanted to not have a Batman or Superman franchise, yes, you would
Not
need
yet.
a main in this case interstellar alien like Lobo would be the only way it could work properly without having to rewrite scripts out the ass to make it somewhat believable. There's a couple other ones as well. Because again, you could do Peacemaker, who's already
Mhm.
again has taken jabs at Batman, has taken jabs at Superman and Aquaman. Like we know this, he has an issue with Batman because Batman just quote locks people up, so where they can then get out and kill more people, whereas he puts people 6 feet under. So I think you could do that, and again, kind of like Lobo, but have Peacemaker interact with a child or a kid that's Robin, and almost plant the seed that hey, why are you fucking following around this bat? Why don't you go do your own thing and actually make a difference rather than putting people in Arkham just for them to somehow fucking escape to kill more people? Why don't you actually do something about it? Because he could, like, again, though, without a Batman and Superman movie, you have to have a main villain or an anti-hero. You can't really do it. And correct me if I'm wrong. Correct us if we're wrong. Feel free. Come on the episode too. That's fine. But I don't think there'd be a proper way to do it without a Batman or Superman movie to introduce Teen Titans. And even Superman, you wouldn't really need a Batman, but Batman would almost be necessary.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could do it without him. I'd really like to see him do it without it, but I don't know. I'd like to see him blaze the trail with Lobo as Jason Momoa coming in as Lobo, doing it that way, and just with Peacemaker going on as well,
Yeah.
because those two going back and forth could be great. I mean, you could even have Lobo hop on that one too with the
Hmm.
fourth wall style of it. I
I
think
don't
it would
know.
work.
I don't believe they had much interaction, though, is the thing. I am pretty sure they were almost separate with very, very minor.
Oh yeah, no, you're talking about just like in the actual comic books and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
No,
you're going to have to.
he was very yeah. No, he was nowhere near any of that. But
Uh,
in in my head, Jason Momoa is one of the only ones that can play the character and do it very well. I just
ooh,
hope if they do it, it's
I,
done correctly, and I have to have confidence in James Gunn doing it.
I would say correct it because right now the rumor is James Gunn has hinted very strongly at Lobo being in season 2 of Peacemaker. So there we go.
Really?
There's your continuity.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's your introduction to Lobo, and then the movie coming after that.
Yeah, and
Maybe
spin off into the Titans. Yeah, I mean,
that's
I,
I think because I mean with Titans you have so many, and you also have Superboy you introduce
mhm.
from there as well. Blue
I mean,
Beetle, which
there's a
they've also
lot of
teased Blue Beetle
heroes.
quite a bit,
There's a
and
lot of heroes, villains, and anti-heroes all from Teen
oh yeah.
Titan. But
So I
I
mean,
think them just taking a break though from the Justice League characters altogether. Like, sure, you can still have a super or a Wonder Woman series going on. Cool. That should be probably more of a TV series than a movie because it's not as interesting as a movie. And I like Gal Gadot as a actress, but the movies have not been great. Um, Aquaman, just I can't stop with fucking Aquaman.
he'll have
But
to be around at some point. I do like the guy that played him in Smallville.
could you imagine though, like if they like, cause you know, if they introduce Lobo into Peacemaker, and Lobo is Jason Momoa, who we've already seen in Peacemaker season 1 as Aquaman. You know there has to be some type of like fourth wall breaking of. Don't you, don't you have a thing for fish?
Fuck
Like,
fish asshole.
yeah, like, just like there has to be some reference where like, yeah,
And
but
I can see that, and it would have. I think you'd have to at that point, and I don't think that they'll miss that. I really hope they don't because that would tie it in greatly. Like it's, and they can even talk about how yeah we scrapped everything back then. Like that shit never
yeah,
happened. Like what are you talking about?
oh yeah, I mean, but again, Peacemaker would be the perfect caveat to do that, where they're like, oh, no, that really didn't happen. When you were in a hospital, you had major brain trauma, and you just imagined all of that.
Which Lobo is a space dolphin advocate, just so you know.
Oh my
Just so you know, he is a space dolphin advocate. So there's a slight tie in with fish as
yeah,
well.
no, I know.
And so it's it could work. I do think that Peacemaker is
Yeah,
going to be their torch to carry
yeah. I mean,
and then introduce.
I think this is all going to come. I think for DC, it's going to come down to Jason Momoa and John Cena. Uh, we've already stated why, but I think that's going to give Marvel a run for its money finally, or at least make it so where we have more than just Marvel to watch.
Their
Uh,
chances now because they're starting their Phase 5
yeah,
with new
which they've
characters.
already that, and they've already postponed a lot of movies inside Phase 5 of Marvel because they were rushing quantity over quality, and then Kevin Feige has even said, "Oh, our bad. We're gonna roll some of this stuff back in the next year, and we're gonna focus more on quality over quantity." And then um, the CEO was let go, and the new guy Bob is in charge, and he's sick of a lot of things, so he's fixing a lot of stuff too with Disney Plus, which is where like a lot of the Hawkeye and She Hulk and all those TV series came out. So I think we could see a good, healthy competition between the two of them finally, and legit competition versus, oh, you watch Batman? Cool.
Yeah,
You're stupid.
that's how it is right now. Like
So
cool.
whatever. Whereas
Yeah.
if somebody's like, I mean, hell, you can take me for instance when you're like, you haven't seen the new Superman or the new Spider-Man movie? What? I have fucking children, you asshole. You do too. How'd you see it?
Yeah. Well, even that too. Like, no, you haven't seen this one. Well, there's 13 other ones you still have to watch.
Yeah.
Like, we just finished Hawkeye. We're still trying to catch up with everything else. I still have Moon Knight, She Hulk, Miss Marvel, Love and Thunder, fucking the new Black. I can't watch the new Black Panther yet without spoiling anything or trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So I
That's
won't do
the
that. I have to see
that's
everything
the
before I
only
see the new ones.
that's the only movie I need to watch is Black Panther. Wakanda
So yeah,
Forever.
I haven't
That's the
seen the
only one.
ones because
I'm
we
caught
took
up.
so much of a break. We have to catch up.
No, I got lucky. My wife was like, "Hey, you want to watch all the MCU's in order?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And that was right
Yeah.
before Moon Knight came out, so then we were caught up real quick.
Oh yeah, shit. We tried. I mean, we watched Loki, Winter Soldier, and WandaVision, all that stuff. So we got those done quick, and then we stopped.
No, that's nice. I'm pretty focused on shit, and like, pretty sure my wife was done by the time we got to like Winter Soldier, and she's like, "I'm done." I was like, "Nope. You said we're gonna watch all this." Boop, boop.
Oh, yeah,
Boop.
I've tried.
7-day trial for stars where I can get Spider-Man. Boop. Done.
So I think we did watch all the other ones. Yeah, it's those, and then leading up to Black Panther. So yeah, they had to slip in Avatar too. So
Oh, we're gonna try
that
to go see
derailed.
that this weekend.
Better than the first one. I'll say it now. It's better than the first one.
I just watched Avatar, the first one, for the second time
Mhm.
since it originally debuted back in '04. Like, I have taken a 17 or 18 year break, and I didn't realize that until my wife's like, "You want to go watch Avatar too?" I was like, "I don't remember shit about Avatar," and then she fell asleep during it when we were watching it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." And this was like the big 3D thing too
Oh, yeah.
back then. It's like, oh my god! And so we're trying to go see it this weekend. And I was like, "Are we gonna watch it in 3D?" No, I don't want to watch it in 3D. Look, woman, if 3D on Avatar was so fucking amazing, 3D on Avatar 2 has to be like 19 times amazing or 18 times amazing. It's been 18 years. Why not?
I liked it better than the first one, and that's not because it's movies have gotten better. Like I think it's the same quality of the first one. I just think
Well,
this
that's
one was
not good.
better. And no, it's good. But apparently the third, fourth, and fifth are already done as well.
Shot
From
or
what I
written?
shot. So
What?
because he didn't want their kids to age.
Oh yeah, that
So,
would make
but
sense.
yeah, so
Yeah,
there's
because Avatar 3 comes out in 2004. Avatar 4 is slated for 2006, and Avatar 5 is slated for 2008.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he did them.
okay.
They're done. Kids are already in there. So yeah, they're talking about introducing fire at some point too. So who
So
knows?
we'll wrap up
So
on this one, but have you
maybe.
seen the yeah, we'll see. Have you seen the beef between Avatar and Avatar: The Last Airbender? Why it's
Oh no,
called
I haven't.
Avatar? Okay, so Avatar came out, okay? Then we had The Last Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender. These are two different movies and franchises. The
Yeah.
only reason why it's called Avatar: The Last Airbender is because James Cameron's Avatar came out. And basically, they couldn't use just the word Avatar because James Cameron somehow owned the rights to that as a movie. So they had to introduce something that add more to it, so where it was different. And that's the only reason why we have The Last Airbender. It's because Avatar with the blue guys came out first. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
with Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, or that was the title
I think
for
it's I think it's
yeah,
the
The
way of
Way
the
of the
water.
Water. Way of Water. That now threw a huge kink in the other Avatars series because they were getting ready to release a new series and have it about water too. But again, James Cameron's Avatar came out before they could even release anything, so now they had to again go back to the chalkboard and rename it, rescript it, and everything, so where there's no similarity on the title other than the word Avatar. So there's this running theory that James Cameron and his crew are basically poking fun at the other Avatar, saying, "Gotcha, bitch."
But yeah, like I said, they're gonna introduce fire in the next one. So the next one's gonna be Avatar, the Firebender. So
Probably.
I don't know. So yeah, but I mean, it's going that direction. We're gonna have all of them because the first one was just a live action Ferngully. So I mean,
Don't you
it'll go
bad
from
mouth
there.
Ferngully.
I'm not bad mouthing. I'm saying, but it's a live action Ferngully. It's exactly what it is, just minus the musical numbers.
And Robin Williams.
True.
Don't forget Batty. God, how dare you disgrace Robin Williams like that?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot about Batty,
God,
which was
that's
a
such
great
good movie.
character.
It really was. But regardless, I didn't realize Avatar 3 and 4 and 5 were already slated. Wow.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're gonna go see that this weekend, so that's good to know that's as good, if not better. Especially since I just
Yeah, I thought it was better.
watched it.
You let me know what you think.
I will. We'll do a whole Avatar podcast.
Which one?
Both of them. I've watched both of them. Oh, and with that said, here's something that's probably gonna piss off a lot of people. It may just get me single-handedly canceled. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action that gets shit upon so much, was a decent movie.
Yeah, it was
I
decent.
I didn't mind it.
I'll agree with you.
I thought it was a good movie. But everybody who's a big like hard on for that Avatar series, like, no, that's you don't fucking watch that movie. That movie shit has nothing to do with this. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, when you go animate a live action, it's very hard. So I guarantee if they made an Attack on Titan or One Piece, like the Cowboy Bebop, the people fucking went nuts when Cowboy Bebop, who they cast for it, and everything like that. I'm not an anime fan. Like my oldest son's a big anime fan, but I don't watch any of that stuff. I've never gotten into it.
I would never say I'm an anime fan, though I've been called out for it because I do like I love Dragon Ball Z and I love Pokemon. So everybody's like, "You're anime." It's like, bitch, no, I'm not. Apparently that's anime. I didn't know that. But anyways,
I mean, it is, but it's I don't know.
It wasn't okay. So when I started watching those, it was not deemed anime. That was not a category outside of Japan. It was just a cartoon. So, but I love Dragon Ball Z, and I remember when they made the live action movie of that. That was a shit. That was the shittiest fucking rendition of a anime to live action.
Which one?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah, no, that was not good at all. That was horrible.
That was shit. But like Avatar: Last Airbender, I watched it. I remember I watched it, and my wife walked in, and she's like, "Oh, what are you watching?" I was like, "Oh, I'm watching Avatar: Last Airbender." She goes, "Don't watch this." And she loves Avatar: The Last Airbender. She's not like hard pressed for it, where like she has to watch it, but she loves the series, which I thought was interesting because when I was like, "Oh, this movie's good," she goes, "No, this movie's trash. How do you like this?" Like, I'm sorry, what? This is when I found out she liked Avatar. I was like, "You like anime?" She goes, "No." I was like, "You like Avatar?" "Yeah." "So you like anime?" "No." Listen, if I have to fucking be told I like anime because I like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh, fuck off. You like anime.
Yeah, and I don't know the difference between anime and manga and all that stuff either. So it's just my son could tell me, I guarantee it, in 2 seconds.
My understanding is manga is the literature, the script, the word, the writing, the books. Anime is the cartoon, the TV series, the movies.
Oh, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Anime is based off the manga. That's my understanding. And that's from somebody who grew up on manga and
it could be.
Fucking schooled me for no reason because I said I liked Avatar: The Last Airbender. You ever watched Nickelodeon show? No, I didn't. Well, watch it. I can't. That doesn't look good. It does not look good. Let me have my piece. But I'm sure I'm gonna get some shit from it sooner or later.
I will see.
Regardless, yeah, I'll definitely let you know about Avatar: Way of Water, and we'll definitely talk about it on the podcast. And that's coming up soon. But, I also didn't realize that was owned by Disney. Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that until we watched Avatar and my wife's like, "Hey, let's watch Avatar." I'm literally searching everything but Disney, and she's like, "It's on Disney."
I saw that because when I went to Disney World, it was there.
So sorry.
They had a whole world for it.
I didn't know that either. They had a whole Pandora.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Pandora.
I have not been to Disney World or Land. I had no desire to be packed in a freaking tuna fish can with that many people.
I went for my first time last year. I'd never been.
No, I probably will never be. The closest I'll
Was
get
it?
is the Disney cruises.
Fuck
Where
no, I wouldn't do that.
well, yeah,
I'm
there's
not
only
getting
like
stuck on a boat with a bunch of kids.
no,
No, thank you.
it's only
I'll go to
limited
Disney World. It
kids.
wasn't that bad.
That's what you say.
I'm
I've
not.
seen videos.
I'm
I've
not.
seen movies.
I'm not tossing kids off the boat to enjoy myself.
No one said you have to toss kids off the boat.
I'm saying that's what's going to
They
happen
they have a
if I go.
daycare. Have a daycare where you can drop your kids off and then you can go drink. They
You
advertise
think
it
I'm going to
pretty
trust
strongly.
that? You
You're
going to
on
trust
the
that?
ocean. You're in the ocean. Where are they gonna fucking go?
I don't trust. I don't trust people.
As long as you're not the one fucking watching them, because you're gonna drop kids off the damn starboard side. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean, trip them and knock them down.
they're pretty high
Stupid.
rails.
No, they're not that high.
Can you
You
swim?
can toss a kid. Let's find out.
Okay, stop screaming. You got 2 more floors to go, and there's the water. He stopped screaming. He must still. Oh no, he's not. Yep.
Windy, I can fly. Welcome to
Spread your
Disney
wings.
Cruise, bitch.
Wait, this is Neverland. This is Neverland. Because you will be there soon. One way or another. Anyways, no, I mean, there's a lot of movies coming out. There's a lot of movies based off of video games, like we're talking at the top of the hour. There's a lot of TV shows. Again, you're excited for Last of Us. I won't watch it. I'll wait for you to see it, and I'll not trust your word on it and suffer through it. But
And look
this
forward to
year-
it. We'll see.
this year, there's a lot of good movies and a lot of good TV series coming out, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see where James Gunn goes with the DCU. I'm excited for a lot of movies. Honestly, there's so many coming out this year that I can't wait to see 4 weeks late because I have children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typical.
I know. It's fucking what's the point of having kids if you can't go see movies when they release the week of? God. Ruining everything. Some bitches. Anyway, we're just gonna wrap this up before things get really bad really quick.
Completely derail.
Yeah, it's not the way we want to go, but we'll see. Anyways, make sure you go check out the first episode of season 2. Again, you can find it everywhere podcasts are, like this one. And then don't forget, the week after each episode premieres, YouTube video comes out of it. So YouTube videos will be delayed 1 week after the podcast. We should have episodes out every Tuesdays and Thursdays as long as things go correctly. Plus premiere live or premiere events, which is a whole different thing. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching or listening to Two Guys One Gamepad. This was fun, interesting, and here is I know you all missed him. Let's just cut this short. Alright, let's not let him say anything. Alright, everyone. Take care. Here's Rahgel.
And make sure you check out, rate, review, everything else you can. The podcast has been around for a little while now, going on almost a year. Rate, review it. Give us some comments. Let us know what you think. I really want to know. I'm curious. But until then, bye, bitch.